Hello, everybody. How are you? Hey, everybody, come in. Welcome. Welcome to Sweet Dreams. It's time for everybody to get ready to go to sleep. So, I'm going to tell you a nice, quiet, peaceful story. It's called The Star Child. In the deep, quiet of the night, when the world was very still, they waited. They had been waiting for a long time, waiting for the Star Child. Who is the Star Child? It is believed among their people that the Star Child was the child who came. You weren't sure that she would come, but in your heart you could feel her coming toward you. They waited and waited for the Star Child. Now, many people waited in the cold blue night. They waited for another one to come and bring some light. They waited for the Star Child, the sweet, gentle Star Child, the child who would come by night. And everyone was excited. Everyone was with glee, except for the one who should have been pleased. She wasn't so pleased about having a Star Child. I don't want to have a Star Child. I like being the only one. But Mother wanted a Star Child, and Father longed for a Star Child. And so they waited all those blue, cold nights, till one day, at the turn of spring, the Star Child came. Now, I'm not going to tell you the Star Child's name, but the Star Child was a special child. A child that made that first child no longer an only. That Star Child was sweet and gentle and loud and noisy and smelly sometimes. But that Star Child came, and Mother was happy, and Father was happy, and relatives oohed and ah with glee. But that child who used to be that only child wasn't sure it was meant to be. Until when the days were nice and warm and the parents were doing other things, the first child came and looked upon the Star Child's little face. And you know what was strange? Do you know what was weird? When that first child looked into that Star Child's eyes, there suddenly were no more tears. They locked eyes with one another. And that first child saw that Star Child as an ally and not an enemy. Now the first child touched the Star Child and rubbed her little head and understood why everyone laughed and cooed. Started to love that child instead. I'm your big sister. It was her the first child said. And the Star Child looked upon the first and said, instead. Now, it's hard being a first child and letting everything go. But it's always good for all children to know they have a place to go. And that first child, although not the baby anymore, learned to love the Star Child that they waited for And you know, I watched the two of them bond and dream and love and scheme together. And I'm glad that the Star Children are now so close together. That story is about my two daughters, Amethyst and Mariah. You know, it's not always easy to be a big sister. I know. I'm a big sister and I'm a little sister. I'm actually a middle child, one of 5 girls. Now, what is it like being in a big family? Now, this is an adaptation of a story. It's called Night Sounds. I could hear all the night sounds. I could. It was quiet and everyone was asleep, and I wanted to hear. So I tiptoed, I creeped, and I just sat at the top of the stairs and I listened to the night sounds. Downstairs, Daddy had just come in and he was watching the news. Or, as my mommy would say, the news was watching him. I could hear the reporters talking, but I also heard my father. Sleep overtook him, and that was his night sound. Mama was in the kitchen. She was washing up the dishes. I heard splash, splash, splish, splash, and the sound of the radio. That was a night sound too. And then I heard my little brothers. They were sleeping in the little room, and I heard when that was a night sound too. I stood up very quietly, creeped back in my little room, and lifted up the window just a little bit and listened. And I heard the wind blowing, the animals talking to each other. The cars ride up the street. Those were night sounds too. Then finally, I looked up at the moon. It didn't make any sound. It just hung there, bringing light into the darkness, and I thought, oh, I'm tired now. I took myself back to bed, and then I went and lay down and heard another night sound as my mom opened up the door a little peek and said, close your eyes, baby. Go on, go to sleep. Okay, Mommy, I said. For good nights, the night sound too. I'm hoping that you guys are enjoying the sweet dream stories. I decided that next week I'm not going to do sweet dream stories. I may do 1 or 2, maybe. I'll decide what days, but tomorrow is another one, and then Saturday will be the special I Am Enough. I may read you one tomorrow, so it'll be a lot of fun. Oh, my latest jewelry. Da-da-da. Pretty, right? I like this. Got this for myself a while ago. Pretty. You know, there's always time for a little jewelry. Everybody needs a little bling. And since it's a sponsor of our stories, you should know that Mama Carla's Paparazzi Accessories sponsors this show. We're going to go back to tea and stories on Monday. So around 4:30 or so. So you can bring your favorite beverage and we can sit down and have our tea and stories next week. But for right now, take care.